Welcome gamers and geeks. This week I'm taking a look at two Warhammer 40k games on the PlayStation 4. You probably know that the 9th edition of the tabletop game came out recently and you're probably painting your shiny new models, but it could be a while before we get back to an actual physical tabletop. Inquisitor Martyr and Hulk Deathwing will help to satisfy your desire to purge and cleanse through the next couple of months. Which game should you choose if not both? I'm here to help you decide.
I'll be keeping it to the video game experience here. If you were looking for story and lore, I'd suggest checking out Oculus Imperia in the link above. Brilliant channel, extensive details. Hulk Deathwing Enhanced Edition is a first-person shooter where you play as a Dark Angel's librarian and his Terminator Squad. You've detected a signal of an old Dark Angel ship aboard a Space Hulk full of Tyranid Genestealers, mutant aliens intent on ripping you to shreds. After a brief tutorial, the game calibrates the difficulty you should play at, and you are sent on your first mission into the Hulk. The game has an authentic feel in line with the tabletop game. Your Terminators are few in numbers, you move slowly and purposely through narrow corridors, breaking through doors and hatches, an accurate scale of how big you are. You can take a lot of damage. Basic enemy shots just bounce off your armor, which feels realistic and makes up for the slow movement. In a video game, realism sometimes takes from the experience, so the slow clunky movement was a bit frustrating. As a librarian, you have access to a psychic gate that serves as your armory, where you can change weapons and powers. The options for gear are limited, but expand as the game goes on. It's authentic Terminator issue gear, so Stormbolters and power weapons are the order of the day. In a shootout, it's best to start blasting. Speed over accuracy works, because Genestealers swarm you in close combat and small spaces. Using a close combat weapon like a power sword works well too, but slow movement doesn't feel right for the video game. Your psychic powers are activated on cooldowns. They're fun to use and help with crowd control when you get overrun. Your support squad can be loaded out with different weapons too. It's a good idea to have your apothecary heal you often. The other squad member should have a heavy weapon. I found an assault cannon worked well in the early stages against hordes. Not counting the first person perspective, Hulk Deathwing is probably closer in theme to the tabletop game. This is the game for you if you want an authentic feeling 40k game. In style, it mimics tabletop rules. If you identify more as a video gamer, Inquisitor Martyr is more fun to play. You're an Inquisitor investigating a distress signal alone on an abandoned monastery fortress. You'll travel the galaxy and battle on many different maps against different foes of the Imperium. The top-down perspective is closer to the tabletop game, and there's some tactical elements involved, like hiding in cover. Honestly, the game has more in common with Diablo than it does 40k. And that's not a bad thing. There's 3 classes to choose from, 4 if you have the DLC, each with 3 specializations. Once you get started, you hack and blast your way around maps, rending groups of enemies apart. Your equipment sets determine what abilities you have. Each of your attacks are cooldown choices. It's really satisfying equipping a shotgun and mowing down hordes of enemies with encouraging kill streak bonuses and loot drops. Like Diablo, gathering loot is compulsive. Weapons and armour are level and rarity locked. As you level up, you gain perk points to spend on skills and abilities. You get 2 loadouts you can switch between, so your character is very customizable, which fits in with the 40k style. If you want an assault based character, add a chainsword and plasma pistol, you got it. Prefer to pick off mobs at a distance, then mop up the mess? A sniper rifle and shotgun are the choice for you. On the PS4, the game will use your DualShock speaker for communications, which adds immersion but is annoying the longer you play. Leaderboards, weekly challenges and updates, all similar to seasons in Diablo, keep the game interesting. The downside is you have to create a NeoCore account, even if you already have a PSN account. If you want blasting, looting video game fun with a 40k setting, Inquisitor Martyr is the game to go with.
There's lots of 40k games out there on older consoles if you can track them down. Real-time strategies, squad-based tactical games, and fun little co-op games. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, you can like or subscribe by hitting that button. Till next time, for the Emperor.